Welcome to the From the 108 podcast, starring the drunk uncles of White Sox Twitter. He's a Twitter-like whore, an Instagram thirst trap, and your grandma's guilty pleasure, BeefLoaf. A West Coast attitude in a decidedly Midwest body, MySoxSummer. And your host, he's sharing obscure music thoughts to give you time to hit the bathroom, Chorizy-E.
Thank you, Chorizy. Welcome to the From the 108 podcast. Get ready for some baseball, beer, and bullshit. And remember the drinking rules. If BeefLoaf says allegedly, or that he manifested that, you drink. If MySoxSummer talks about the gym or tells us he simply did not have time, you drink. And if I talk music or Star Wars, you drink. And of course, you can make all of us drink for a tip of $1.08 or more. Please
more.
$18. We've got bobbleheads to make.
Man.
But speaking of drinking, fellas, what are you drinking? And are you on the quest, BeefLoaf?
I am, in fact, on the quest, Chorizy. Now, I may have a slight violation here because we're getting down to the end. It's wine-related. I went and got the Corbel, the rosé. Right. However, it is the sweet rosé and not the brut.
Don't worry. I got
Does
you.
It count?
I got the brut.
Oh, my God.
We're going to be drinking pink stuff today. The sweet rosé, it is mighty sweet, boys. This is hangover in a bottle. Let me just tell you that.
Nice.
Yours should be better than mine, Treasy. The brut should be right where it's at. It should be delicious.
The only way to drink this is in a pint glass.
I was hoping you had a plastic cup, Chorizy, like a cheap New Year's Eve celebration. Like
a lot of head, guys. A lot of head going into that.
Be careful with that. You know,
gotta love the head.
Take it easy.
I just popped it. I think you could probably heard it.
We did hear it. That was awesome.
I went to the secret liquor store. Then I want to tell anyone where it's at. And this was all they had. No Old Milwaukee. Went looking for the Old Milwaukee there. Nope. I know the Old Milwaukee is out on Archer Liquors, but I didn't have time to get out there today.
So I'm going to drink that. So don't do that. Okay. I'm going to go for that because I grew up on the Old Mill. But like I couldn't find it either. And I was going to ask today, I was like, would Milwaukee's Best Ice substitute okay for Old Mill? And then I was like, it's probably not going to, so I'll just go get Old Mill at some other point.
You should get some Milwaukee's Best Ice. You should definitely do that, but it won't count. We'll just add it. We'll just add another one.
I don't want to do that at all. Like there's like no part of my being wants to drink Milwaukee's Best Ice.
How dare
you? And plus they were only in 18 packs, and I was like,
You don't think you could take on the Icy Beast? Oh man, what a pussy. All right, let's get some drinks here. Our guy Jerry O'Sullivan says, first and foremost, congratulations on the bobblehead. Well-deserved. Coming from a guy with a giant noggin, I fully expect that thing to weigh at least 25 pounds to accommodate for your giant heads. Cheers, boys.
Cheers.
Thanks, Jerry. Hey, I don't even got us a drink yet, did we?
We didn't. I was about to ask him, what is that you're drinking?
Chorizy and Loaf, am questing. It's a tequila sunrise. I've never had one of these before, and I made this myself. Look how beautiful that is.
Looks good, yeah.
So let's try it. I've never had one.
They're delicious.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's a little watered down, right? Because I made it too much ice in there, but we'll get there.
Now let me ask you a question. How small of a bottle of grenadine were you able to find? Or are you going to have grenadine for the rest of your life? Yeah, that's not too bad. That's not too bad.
Head for size. Yeah, it's not that big. Whoa, 1080. Hell yeah.
Terry's Peeps says, congrats on the promotion and the recognition. Couldn't happen to better, guys. Remember, though, 108 message board. Just saying.
Yeah, and I appreciate you, Terry's Peeps. And he created it, too. He created it. Remember, he sent us the link the one time. I'm going to get in there. Terry's Peeps, reach out to me. I'm going to get in there and start making posts there. Let's get this baby going.
Can he moderate it, too? Because that would be awesome.
We'll work that out.
Just let whatever happens. John Nava says, cheers, gents. Congrats on the Sox bobblehead. Can't wait for the game. Oh, cheers. Thank you, Ray.
Bless you, my friend.
We got Joey P. So salute, my bobblehead bros.
Man,
cheers, Joey.
We're just going to town.
Appreciate you.
Thank you.
It's a lot of brut rosé to pound in a few minutes.
It's nice so far.
I feel like it's going to be good because I'm going to have a massive burp at some point.
Oh,
and that's the beauty of doing your own podcast for nobody else. You guys just, you run it yourselves. You can have a gigantic burp and no one can tell you anything wrong with it.
Let's let it fly.
I got White Sox Dom with $20, man. Thank you so much.
Thanks, buddy.
Says, congrats on the bobblehead. And then that last part's in Polish, so I'm gonna let MySoxSummer read that.
Yeah, I have no idea.
I think it's Nostrovia, but
Nostrovia.
Nostrovia? I don't know. Nostrovia? I don't know. I apologize.
Next time we see Dom, he's got to teach us. Then he'll teach us how to say it, and then we line it up. We'll get it all lined up.
All right, and then
hopefully when I'm not all fucked up.
Sox Time Jack says, popped a Prilosec 13 minutes ago. Let's have a night.
Oh, yeah.
Cheers.
I should have done the same, but I didn't.
I needed it for the Franzia. The Franzia was the most acidic drink that I've ever had in my life.
I just feel you're going to get the cotton mouth from this, Treasy. When we get about 3/4 in the bottle.
I got a water this time.
Okay, all right.
The Moscato, the red Moscato.
Yeah.
Got me. That was brutal. Hello, Mr. Hand says, congrats on the bobblehead. How much did Treasy pay to have less grays? You know what? People imagine me in whatever way they like. That's right. None of my business, right? Like, so that they wanted the younger, sexier version of me. That's fine. Cheers. Thank you.
Cheers, Mr. Hand. Thank you. And actually, no one noticed and no one has said anything yet. And I don't want to point it out, but my beard is totally dark. Like, and it wasn't like it wasn't like I sent old. I wasn't like I sent old pictures where I still had a dark beard. It's like, no, I sent recent pictures and they made my beard all dark. Probably like, this guy looks like Santa Claus. So we need to make him not look like Santa Claus.
Guys, I'm so happy. Jay Zell is back.
Jay Zell.
MySoxSummer, tell them the truth. You know the truth. I don't know what that means, but I love it.
Love it.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, man.
Now we just need Trevor Smith back. We're all set.
Our guy Gordo up in here, he says, cheers, you loud, greasy fuckers. Cheers, Gordo.
Cheers, Gordo. Appreciate you, baby.
Gordo, we'll get into it later, but you were mentioned on the stretch today. So you
hell ready. Yeah.
You definitely got a shout out on the stretch.
You did. You can only imagine
Alex why you were doubling down on that. Tell the truth, boys. Tell the
truth. I agree. So, R.I.P. Trevor. I think there are some alternate Trevor accounts. I've been looking around a little bit. So I mean, Trevor may have a revival this year.
What I need is Alex to DM me Trevor's account if it's still active, because I was going to retweet I was going to quote tweet our bobblehead and be like, maybe my son Trevor will finally come and see me again. But who knows if we'll make that happen. All right, boys, wondering how you're doing tonight. BeefLoaf, how you doing?
Boys, I'm good. There's a lot going on out there in these streets today.
Yeah,
and we brought this up a while ago, Treasy. And I don't think we ever kind of had a verdict down. So I kind of want to get you guys' take on this.
That's a deep cut. That's a deep cut.
This is deep.
That's a deep cut.
Glad the makers of the Anthony Thomas bobblehead didn't make your bobblehead. Yeah, no lead paint. No lead paint, as far as I know.
Whose kid was chewing on it? They're like, well, we had to throw it out because of lead paint. That's all we know.
Our boy Mark. It's our boy Mark. Yeah.
They actually, it is the same company. It's just hopefully different paint. It's the same. Hopefully. It's definitely AGPs.
Possibly different paint.
So they got to lower the price.
Yeah, totally different paint. More lead. More lead in it.
I mean,
more lead.
That bobblehead's 20 years old, man. That's crazy.
So boys, Teresa, you brought this up briefly before, but I think it's time to get back into this because the NFL owners just had an official approval resolution. They voted 32-0 to allow the players to participate in flag football in the 2028 Olympics. And Ian Rappaport's tweet says the NFL's version of the Dream Team is coming. Now, my thought on this right out of the gate, I went to the website to look up the U.S. flag football team, national team, just to kind of see who some of these characters. Well, I'm not going to put their picture on the screen, but they have a full goddamn team there. And I also Googled which country is the best at flag football in kind of these competitions, whatever. Guess it's the United States, of course, because we have football. So these players,
yeah.
My take here is fuck Justin Jefferson, fuck Saquon Barkley, even though he's been a menace on my goddamn dynasty team. I don't want NFL players invading this shit and taking it over. The guys who make flag football, I looked up their wage, $18.28 an hour to play flag football.
Man.
Roughly. That's the rough. I don't want their glory being stripped away by the NFL players who don't even fucking play this game. What do you guys think, man? You think this is bullshit that they'd be letting NFL play? We don't need the dream team yet. We haven't even seen the team lose. Like, the only reason they dream team in 92 was our college team was getting their ass kicked,
That's exactly right. You run amateur until they beat you, and then you bring them.
Yeah.
Then you bring in the pros. But I'm with you here, Beef. Although I will take this scenario. Let's have these guys that are in those positions right now that are on the US team. If everybody is like, hey, put the fucking NFL guys in there, do this. All right, each of those NFL guys has to pay the guy $100,000 to teach him how to do their job. At minimum $100,000.
Yeah,
like you can tip on top of that, right?
Training fee.
Yeah, like whichever quarterback comes in to play, that's a $500,000. You're giving $500,000. Like, it's by position. But yeah, pay these guys some money. Like if you're gonna bump them out after letting them be the best in the world until the shit's actually in the Olympics and you want to steal their glory, like, pay them. You gotta pay for that. You can't just you don't get that
buy
shit
the
for
rights.
Free. You don't get that shit for free. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they're stealing it. They're stealing the glory. I agree with you, Treasy. That's what you think, bro.
Yeah, no, I agree 100%. And immediately I just think, man, all those tall, lanky, skinny white guys are out of a job. Like, they just weren't good enough to play in the NFL. They had one thing they're good at, two things: ultimate frisbee and flag football. And now they can't even go to the Olympics in that. And I don't think ultimate frisbee is an Olympic sport. So yeah, I mean, I'm
gonna let you know, MySoxSummer, just by looking at the website of the national team, it's a little lacking in white men. It doesn't have a lot of white boys. So just in case that's the way you were thinking about it, saying that it's a white, there's not very many white guys. In fact, I see zero. So that are players. There's zero players out there. So
okay then.
Does that change your mind?
Well, no. I just thought it was nerdy, and when I think nerd, I think white.
I think it's very athletic. I mean,
I think you gotta be athletic. Yeah, you gotta avoid the flag getting taken, man.
Yeah, it's a different skill.
It's true.
Right?
It's true.
It's not the same skills as regular football, obviously.
Yeah.
But I would assume that NFL players are fucking awesome at it. But they don't need to worry.
If you threw the NFL players in there, I'm sure they would crush it. This shit.
Make regular football an Olympic sport then.
They can play. 100%.
The thing that's fucked up is it's going to go backwards instead, right? Like, so what's going to happen is, especially if this lasts more than one Olympics. That's the thing. I think it's one of those ones that's just
trial. It's like a trial.
LA.
Yeah.
And so the problem is like, let's say they keep doing it. Mm-hmm. You're going to have the first one with the dream team, and someone's going to blow out their knee, and then the owners are going to be like, oh no, we're never doing this again. And then you go back to the amateurs. It's like, why would you? That's the wrong direction. Wrong direction.
Fuck him.
Yeah, you don't want to do that at all. Well, you don't agree with Alex Rude's? I'm not reading that, but that's a good comment right there.
You should go fuck yourself,
you,
Alex Rude. Man, I should still call him Adam Rude just because of that, you son of a bitch.
Let's get this drink real quick, guys.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
From Trey, he says, cheers, guys. If MSS doesn't save me a bobblehead, I cry. Cheers.
Listen.
Cheers, Trey.
I want to make it very clear to people watching tonight. We're not getting extra bobbleheads. Let's just, as far as we know, we're not getting extras. MySoxSummer tried to purchase more, and it does not work that way. So we're gonna figure it out after there. But right now, the only way to guarantee that you get a bobblehead is to buy a fucking ticket. You need to do that. I want to make sure that I'm very clear. This is not a gate giveaway. This is a special release thing. It is only going to be sold to people that buy those tickets. Like, I'm not going to be walking out with 6 garbage bags full of bobbleheads. Well, maybe I will, but right now I just am not.
It's about to be a huge guarantee, Trees. I was not going to believe that.
That I'll have that. So don't be like, wow, MySoxSummer will just get me one later. And I'll tell you this: The ticket price is not that expensive when you include in the factor that it's a game ticket, all you can eat and drink, for like 2 hours, and you're in the bobblehead. It's not that expensive, and I'm going to charge double what the ticket costs for the fucking bobblehead. So just be ready. So
set the market already. I'm not going to have any of these extras, but if I did have them, it would be like when OJ wrote the book. If I was the killer,
if I did it.
I really don't have anything. Just FYI, I'm telling you, this is not me. Wink, wink. Don't do. No, you need to buy these tickets. And the more tickets we sell, the more they're going to have to order. The more chances that we will actually have extras. So buy a shitload of tickets, and then I'll get you an extra.
Keep buying, baby.
Potentially,
possibly.
MySoxSummer, how you doing? Other than upset that people are asking you for.
No, I'm not upset. I just
physically emotional right there, Chorizy. I don't know if you know.
This ain't going to be like the Charles Comiskey bobblehead where I find 6 of them sitting on a ledge and then I can sell them to the people that want them, which is not very many. So just
found 6 of them.
Wally defending the ledge find was my favorite part. When he was trying to explain it to me, I was like, I don't care.
Yeah. No, they literally
total horseshit.
People just put them up there. No, that's what happens. Now, guys, so today, Wolf and I went and did some stuff up at Barstool Chicago.
The stretch.
We did the stretch, and it was just Chief and Dave, and then us two, and then Lance was in there too. He didn't talk much, but he nodded his head, and I like his approvals from the side. That's always awesome. Like he's just like, yep. And I'm like, okay, I'm on the right track here with Lance, so I'm happy. But when we're leaving, Dave is telling me how good I look. And like skinny, he's like, dude, you're looking great. And I go, thank you, I appreciate that. And I was like, okay, but I want to make sure that like my blood sugar spikes, so I had to go on a shot, and the Moderna shot. And he's like, oh man, that's like straight up poison, you're putting it in yourself, blah 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 blah. And I was like, what? And I'm like, it was prescribed by my doctor. He's like, and then he keeps going, and he goes, this should not be the thing. Everyone should be eating their diet, and they should be doing right things and not eating much food. And I'm like, I am doing that. I was doing that before, and it wasn't working because my body doesn't process sugar. And Dave was like, for you, it's fine. But, other people, 15 minutes.
What's going on?
And I'm sitting there. And
I told him, when we were walking, I told him, you told him, Dave. He goes, Beef, you're with me on this, right? I was like, I don't even know what he's talking about yet.
And so when we get to the car, and I tell Loaf, I was just like, oh, dude, Dave, maybe I'm going to talk about in my last call tonight how Dave just freaked me the fuck out now that I'm on this shot, But he'd rail on it for 5 minutes, and then he'd say to me, "But it's okay. You're taking it for the right reason. You're not doing it just to lose weight." And I go, "Yeah, it's just intended side effect." And then I'm like, "Just take it easy, because you're freaking me out." But so that Friday freaked me out today. And then I was in the car driving to the Aldi to get some food. Our cupboards are not bare, but I needed to get some extra food for tonight and everything. And so I'm going there, and who's on the afternoon drive with our man Loho? Sarah Spain is on there, and I'm like listening. And Sarah Spain, I haven't heard very much about. The reason I know her is because she offered to sleep with somebody if they got her a ticket for the Super Bowl. Or go on a date with him or something.
A date. I think it was a date.
She started her career, right? And she has gigantic breasts. So then, of course, I know her. And then she had a bobblehead made of her by the Chicago Red Stars. And then, I kind of just lose track, but I know she has a podcast and she does all that stuff. Seems like she's pretty successful. But they were talking to Layla, and Layla and Marshall Harris just did the 7th inning stretch at the Cubs game. And the score was all involved in all this stuff. And former White Sox fan, a man who made a big stink about not wanting to be a Sox fan anymore, throwing hats, his White Sox hats, to people in our audience at the Ramova on our first opening day eve, goes, hey, I know your games aren't on our channel anymore, but the afternoon show's ready to go anytime you need to throw a first pitch. And I'm like, whoa, this is very unfan-like behavior. Like, this is not fan-like behavior here. You only want to do these things, because maybe the team's coming back up. I don't know. But I'm just like, what is going on here? And then after they say that, Sarah Spain goes, oh, I think they just allow anybody that's in the crowd to come up and throw out the first pitch. And then I was like, what? And then she says, oh, me and my husband just took 15 people to a game and blah, blah, blah. And we thought they might let us throw out the first pitch, and then just tore apart the White Sox and said how horrible of an organization, how bad the team is, and all this stuff. And I'm thinking, this is one incredibly great way to try to get a first pitch out of a team, is to just rip the shit apart, rip them to shreds, and then say, well, but please let us do something. So, folks, if you want something, maybe don't talk shit about the people you're trying to get it from. So I was just a little bit taken aback this afternoon listening to that. And but then my last thing. This is my last one.
Real quick on that. I'm
sorry. I forgot.
I just wanted to comment here, because the real way to throw out a first pitch is to live close enough to the park that you could check in every night and pretend like you went to every game.
It's true.
In the old days, that was
correct. Don't knock the hustle. Hate the game, right? Isn't that what it is?
Yeah, sure. You got it. No, you got it. You got it the way you were.
So shut up. Now, my last thing tonight, I'm pulling a loaf. I got 3 little quick hits. We're practicing tonight at Donovan Park. We're over in the left-hand corner, or the southeast or southwest corner of the field. Tonight also is picture night. So my daughter has pictures at 6:15 after my other daughter finishes her practice at 6 o'clock. I get to the park at 4:45. I start setting up in our location that we booked underneath the scoreboard. That's where we practice our game, or practice playing baseball. We're over there. We're working up. Guess who comes walking in? Oh, team photographer. Oh, he sets up right where we fucking are, like just behind us, just a little bit east of us.
Oh, no.
And I'm like, oh, this seems like a horrible idea. Horrible idea. Mind you, the northeast corner, completely empty. He could have walked 50 more yards and had all the space in the world, stayed away from my practice, another team's practice, and the other team's practice. Okay. I am just like, okay, all these kids start walking through the middle of our practice while T-ballers are swinging baseball bats and throwing balls at each other. Okay.
That's a great idea. Yeah. This is going to work out wonderfully.
Very bad. Right. Now, who's going to get in trouble when one of these kids gets clocked? Not the photographer that's being an asshole. Me, my team, or the kid that's doing it, who's only doing what he's supposed to do because we booked the area. Thank Christ, nothing goes down, and this practice is going along swimmingly until we get to my man Oakley, who can nail the shit out of the baseball. And I'm like, this seems like a really bad idea. So I tell Oakley, chill out. Do not swing as hard as you can, please. We don't want to kill somebody while they're waiting to get their picture taken. And so he's like, okay. And he's doing really good at it. He's doing really good. He's taking a lot off. He's holding onto the bat. And I'm like, you're doing great. In the middle of while I'm pitching to him, the photographer goes, hey, can you guys stop practicing for about 3 to 5 minutes so I can take a team picture? And I look at him, and there must have been fire shooting out of my eyes. And I go, actually, we're booked on this field for our practice every week, so we're going to keep going. He goes, it's only going to be 3 to 5 minutes. And I literally had to go. I put my hand up and I walked away, and I looked over, and Oakley looks at me and he goes, what's the matter? And I was like, I'm just trying to calm down before I start yelling at this guy again. And I really just wanted to scream at him, and I wanted to punch him so bad, but I'm like, don't do it. And then later, while he's doing with the girl, shut the fuck up, Timothy. I don't even like that. Stop. I'm not on Ozempic either. But I was just like so angry and just wanted to yell at this man so much, but I couldn't. And I was like, you're in public. You are a representative of this coaching staff of the team. You cannot yell at the photographer and tell him to go fuck himself. Even though this is Bridgeport and I'm totally okay.
You get away with it. Yeah.
That. You just got to be like, bro, there's a whole empty field over there. Get your fucking card table and go the fuck over there. Like, I was so mad. And then he was not very friendly to the Dragons softball team. And so I keistered it. I holstered it and did not yell at anybody.
He keistered it. Oh,
I know.
Way up there.
That can get dangerous though when you got the practices going against each other like that. I remember when we were kids, Chorizy, at BCA baseball, we had a practice for the start of the season in the gym. You had to practice inside.
Practice.
And we had shit going in a couple different directions. I remember Frank Stevens on the hill and he's pitching to me. And it's like, this is kind of a big matchup because he's the best pitcher and I'm one of our better hitters or whatever.
Yeah.
And he works I work a 3-2 count and he throws me a fastball and I turn on and smoke it, right? Now, luckily, these are the rubber baseballs. These are not the real hard base. This is like a softer baseball. And it hits Joe Misitich in his fucking huge melon head because you guys were doing some other shit on the other side of the gym, Chris. Tracy. So shit happens when you do the cross practice.
Fucking Rockhead was fine. It was fine. I like the story. I'm like, the whole time, though, I ended up disappointed because I just kept thinking that photographer was going to take one right in the head. And like, I wanted to. And I'm like, now I want you to find that photographer so we could throw baseballs at him.
Oh, man. He'll be there on Monday if you guys want to come through.
Yeah, I'll
come around.
Come through. Make sure I'll be there.
And he's like, hey, make sure you take an order for him so you can order extra shit. And I'm like, fuck you, dude. I'm not ordering anything extra.
Let's
fuck my balls.
Let's get a couple drinks here. Jay Zell says, I think they should make the broken down fundamentals deck into a rooftop bar overlooking Dodge Chargers going $120 down to Dan Ryan. You know,
I love it actually.
I might attend.
I'm into that. They also do donuts and stuff. They do burnouts. That'll be fun.
All right. Husky Bardo, our guy, he says, cheers,
Bardo.
fellas. Congrats on the bobblehead.
Cheers,
Thank
Husky.
you, Bardo. Appreciate you.
Chorizo, how are you doing?
Right. I'm doing good, man. I just want to give you guys a quick update on our season-long bets because they're moving in the right direction for the most part.
Nice.
White Sox win total. This is over under 49. We got over 49.5 is our number. Over 49.5 is our number. Currently on pace for 52 wins.
Atta boy.
Baby. Looking good.
We're
Looking
up right
good.
now. Yep.
Can we play the Mets more?
White Sox, no. We got out of there. We got out of there lucky. I feel good getting out of there the way we did. All right. White Sox run total. So BeefLoaf's got the steak dinner bet against Josh Nelson.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
555.5. Beef has the over. Sox are now on pace for 567.
Woo! We're on fire.
It's 11.5 runs over.
It's clicking right now. The offense has started clicking.
Order some extra food and get me a doggy bag. Come on.
Now, the three of us all have this Pete Alonso RBI leader. He's in 6th now.
Yeah,
he's at 43 RBI. Goddamn, Suzuki and PCA are 1 and 2. That makes me extra
score
sick.
a billion runs.
That makes me extra sick. So hopefully that'll turn over. The thing about it is, and this is a long game with Pete Alonso. Mm-hmm. Some of it has to do with the fact that Pete Alonso plays almost every goddamn game.
Correct.
Yeah. And so I'm still feeling good. He's still in the top 10. Right, I'm not too worried. He's 8
Soto hasn't really gotten hot yet, and then Nemo, some of these guys have been a little bit hurt, so like they get some time to come back.
And they had to face the White Sox bullpen all weekend, all week. So like that's a tough go. So.
Exactly.
But good. I feel like we're looking good. And this weekend, we got the Orioles.
Yep.
And I wanted to ask you guys a quick question though, because I feel like there were people in the past couple of years who jumped ship.
Oh, I didn't do that.
From the White Sox to the Orioles. Now the Orioles are a hot new girl. Orioles are a hot new girl. I get it. Like Mickey Free. Are you going to dance on graves if there's a weekend win, or do we want to wait until the September series when we got the bobblehead?
Bobblehead, yeah.
Both, Treasy. I plan to be dancing. I will be dancing this week as the Sox take 2-3 from the Orioles. I'll be dancing on graves. Even people who did not switch sides. Even a guy like Dan Zaborski, who's been a lot of memes talking shit about the White Sox. And even recently, because I was giving him some shit back, and he did one the other day, and he's like, sorry, Beef. And then put another one out there, like the Pope won't even save the White Sox or whatever. I quote tweeted one of them. I was like, it's going to be an interesting weekend, especially if the White Sox get over on these guys. And they ain't pitching at all. This could be good for the steak dinner bet, too. The Orioles pitching is in shambles right now. So maybe the Sox
I want to see a lot of hitting this weekend. That's really what I want to see. I want to see the Sox run it up because we know you get past our starters, it's dicey. It's dicey.
It
We'll get
is.
to that. We'll get to that later, though. We'll get to that
Yes,
later.
sir.
Chorizy-E, I am going to reserve my dancing only for the people that said that it was a good move by the Orioles to pick up Eloy and sign him to give him a shot. Those are the people that I will target. If anyone that said, hey, it's probably a really good idea, they'll get him going and he'll get going. And then he hit for 3 games and then he fell off a cliff, And so, those are the people that I'm going to go after. So get ready, Shy Sox Mike.
Ken's out here. Don't include me in that. I was always an Oriole guy. You're fucking number one, Ken. We're coming at you. We're coming after you.
I love it.
MySoxSummer, pay some bills.
Let's do it.
That is done, the fasting's through. But Lawrence is fun, that's always in view. You prayed, you waited, you gave up the meat. Now treat your soul to that crispy heat. Down on Canal, the fryer don't sleep. 24/7, them flavors run deep. Midnight, sunrise, rain or shine, they're dropping shrimp in that holy brine. But let's talk shrimp, the best in the Shy. No one does it better, and that's not a lie. Crispy, juicy, seasoned just right. A bag of joy in the pale street light. So whether you're holy, hungry or both, Lawrence's swears a deep fried oath. Come hungry, come often, bring the whole block. Cause let Lawrence's baby, we don't stop.
Oh man, it's sad. It's sad that May. It's sad that May is over.
May is over now.
The June jam is coming. I'm anxious for it. I
got a lot out of that, to be honest.
Don't delete that. Save that somewhere. Save that somewhere. That's a good one, baby.
Literally, I save everything because I recycle some of them. I'll throw some of them back in every once in a while, and it's pretty awesome. Unless you make a joke that was only applicable for year 2024, like adding Paul DeYoung in there, and then people are like, "Oh, this is an old one." Yeah, it's an old one. Sorry,
our guy CD. He comes through. He says,
"Holy
shit! I wanted to send 1980 to match Kopech's minor league ERA, but it won't let me." Congrats on the bobblehead and cheers. Cheers,
Thank you, CD. Appreciate you.
Poor Kopech.
Man, you miss Kopech. His all of his beauty. You want to find a beautiful man to.
A lot of man love there going on.
That's true. Davis Martin, not pretty enough for me yet.
No,
not
that's about it.
He's got
a good flow, but that's about it.
Good flow, but looks like a guy that I would buy drugs from. So I don't like him yet.
He's a bee sting away from having Chase Mydroth head. Like it's like he's.
You're a lot of line when I'm talking like that. All right,
man.
I don't let Davis Martin know he's going to kick your ass the next game.
It would be funny if we just saw like a Davis Martin come up in the comments on my day off. You fuck!
I saw your bobblehead. You look like a fucking 65-year-old asshole.
I mean, I do look like a 65-year-old asshole in general. But speaking of our bobblehead, we do have a bobblehead. I think all of you have already heard about this, but I wanted to talk to the guys about it and just see initial reaction. But MySoxSummer, you've been trying to make this happen for a minute now, and how excited are you about this? You wrote the blog, but I want to see your face light up and talk about this bobblehead.
I didn't just divulge a lot of the inside information and how it got made. I did do some of that for the stretch guys, but that doesn't come out till tomorrow. So this is first peek. So for years, our guy over at the Sox, Mike Downey, has wanted to do a fan bobblehead. He knows how much I love bobblehead, so he's like, it would be perfect to have a 108 bobblehead. He has never had the ammunition to take to the higher ups and say, these guys can sell something. They can do it until Sox Fest. And we do the commercial in the hot tub where we're promoting the bobbleheads. And that tweet during that week, performed almost better than most of the Sox Fest tweets, except for the Mark Burley thing. And there was one 2005 thing.
The Burley one beat us, but yeah.
I ain't beating Burley.
Those are the only things we can't beat, right? Or didn't beat. I mean, it was a slow week, but please, we outperformed like crazy. So finally, Mike has like 2 in the chamber, and he's like, all right, here we go. Let's roll the dice. And Chuck Garfine says these guys need their own bobblehead. And we sent that to Downey, and we're like, yeah. And he's like, I'm gonna try. So credit to him and his team for first of all, for like pushing this and making this a reality. And like literally it happened in a second, because he's like, send me pictures of you guys. And I'm like, are we seriously going to do this? And he goes, yes. I go, okay. Cause you get me all worked up. And I'm thinking in my head,
he's getting boned up.
even if we don't make it, they're still going to make a fucking prototype. I'll at least have a prototype. And then it'll be like, I have this, and this is awesome. Right. So Mike is like, we sent all the stuff off and whatever. And I'm just like, God, yes. And then when we get the original concept one back, the sculpt back, and he's like, what do you guys think? I'm like, holy shit, because it is huge, folks. This is the biggest bobblehead, and we haven't seen it in person. I just know that it's large. It is the biggest bobblehead they've ever done. It is the most expensive bobblehead they've ever made, and that is just crazy for a fan bobblehead.
That's what it was.
It was just like, oh my God. So yeah, no, I am like literally insane about this. This is just like the craziest thing that's happened. And the launch, when they announced it, on Wednesday or Tuesday. Was it Tuesday? It was Tuesday, right?
Yeah, I think it was Tuesday.
It was Tuesday. When they announced it Tuesday, even though I knew it was coming and have seen it all over the place, I am still like, holy shit. And then you send it out and people are like, oh my God, and like it's crazy. The only person that hasn't been all that congratulatory and nice to me is my nephew, who fancies himself a really good baseball player. And I told him, hey, look at me. I got my own MLB bobblehead before you, buddy. And I don't even play baseball. And he did not like that. He did not like that at all.
I like that MSS couldn't go like,
I don't
hey,
care.
check out how cool this is. He's like, no, in your face, pussy.
As uncle, you got to make him eat shit. I agree 100% with this.
I'm not cool anymore. I'm the coolest uncle he has. No offense to his other uncles, but he's only got one other one, or 2 other ones. But they're both very cool too. But I'm the only one that has my own bobblehead, so like I have to use what I have. Now, there's one other guy who is not too happy, and he used to call me the walking billboard. And I just want to make sure that everyone takes a peek at the bobblehead here. I'm trying to bring it up. I don't have it right on in front of me. God damn it. Here we go.
You want the bobble? Yeah.
Yeah. So it was called the walking billboards for so many years by a guy named James Duda. And if you are a Pride and Passion person, he would call me. Now, most people don't think promoting your brand and something that makes you some money and brings you some clout is necessarily a bad thing. But look at this bobblehead. Not only are we on it, right? The 108 logo is promptly featured, but all our t-shirts are shirts that we have made and sold to the public. They're all there. This is a walking billboard. It's got me to this point. And you're wearing it. Yes.
I can't believe they gave us that one.
I like that the original. These are our original ideas, right? The baseball beer bullshit. Hashtag 108 wave sucks. Those are original makes. This is not. Those are our things, right? Exactly. And it's awesome that they're on there.
Yeah, we thought of all those ideas ourselves. We did not hold a contest and then take those ideas from people and give them $350 gift card. But yeah, aside from that, it's like it is my dream, Chorizy, and we've talked. I'm hated on Reddit. I'm also mildly hated by a lot of bobblehead collectors because of my tie-ins with the White Sox and whatnot. And I have told Mike several times it would be really sweet if you guys made a bobblehead of us, with me included, so that the people that hate me but are completists and have to collect every White Sox bobblehead will have to buy the bobblehead with me to display so that they have this in their collection. And it makes me so happy. Like, it is like I have a little bit of vindictiveness in me, and I just was so happy that somebody that hates me now still has to buy this and has to be like put me up in there, because if they don't have me, they don't have a really complete collection. So yes, I'm really stoked. This is pretty dope.
Chris is right. They should have been a button that plays smash or pass. We might have We might have to. That might be the mod. That might be the mod that we do.
So thank you to Mike Downey. Thank you to Brooks Boyer. And honestly, we thanked him on the stretch too. Thank you to Aloha Mr. Hand, who actually kind of introduced us and Brooks together, which made a lot of this stuff happen. So it's been great.
Beef, how did you feel about it? How did you feel about this?
You know, Chorizy, I'm not into. I wasn't that into when we got the beer made for Goose or whatever. To me, that type of thing or whatever is less than having Jeff Passan on the show. Like, I have a heart attack with the time when we had Jeff Passan. When I'm trying to get back from Austin and all the Southwest flights are fucked because their computer system's down. I don't know if I'm going to get back so we can do this. Managed to get back in time. We have an alternate agenda and all this shit just because there's no way Jeff Passan's actually going to fucking show up. And then at 8:16, Jeff Passan's face pops up in the little screen there, and I'm like, holy shit, this guy is on here. So for me, some of those are really big thrills. And so when I knew this was coming, all throughout the time during it was possible to happen, all I kept thinking was, how is this not going to happen? Or how am I going to say something dumb that screws us up that we're going to get kicked out of here? When it eventually came through, and MSS sent us the message, it's like, they're going to put it out there about 4 o'clock. I was commuting home from work kind of in and around that time. I left a little bit early because Bonita was here by herself. Mrs. Beef went on a work trip. And I wasn't paying attention to the internet exactly when it all dropped. And so I looked at my phone probably 15 minutes later, and it was fucking chaos. There was fucking shit everywhere. And it felt euphoric. Seeing it out there, like that it was actually real and this shit was happening. And it felt like an odd culmination of almost a decade worth of work that we put into this shit in a variety of different ways between blogs and podcasts. But not only that, just like, making friends with a lot of people out there, doing the road trips or whatever, just sitting in the section and having a beer with someone watching the game. There's been a long, road of us doing what we do, and cool to see that we got the recognition for doing that. And everyone else noticing it too. Feel wonderful when someone says, I really enjoyed your blog, or oh, I love the podcast this week or whatever. Those are great things. But when you take a moment to just stop and people are like, man, we really appreciate you guys. And this is a version of that. I think that kind of brought that over here. And I'm super impressed that MySoxSummer sold this on the White Sox, because I am shocked they would do something like this, even though I know they have interest. They like working with us on different things. This is just a level above that, where I was like, wow, this is really fucking happening. I couldn't believe it.
I couldn't believe it happened either. Yeah, I couldn't believe it happened. In fact, MSS, you were not privy to this, because I didn't want to get you down. I didn't want to get you down. You were excited about this. Every time you brought it up, I'd tell Beef, this shit is not happening. Like I love that they're giving MSS this attention, and that that they're talking through it with them, and they're showing them the graphics and shit. And I was like, it's it's nice. It's nice that they're doing this for Lenny here. But oh
man.
But
Lenny,
don't worry, I'm not going to shoot you out back later. But I'll kill you. But I was like, there's no way this is happening. I was like, this is just a thing where hey, these guys are season ticket holders. They do a lot that helps the Sox, and let's just be nice, and then we'll have something come up that the tariffs got it. We can't do it. Something, right? So I was just waiting for us to be disappointed and to have to console you. That was so. It's like, well, we didn't get it this time. Maybe next time it'll happen. So when you messaged us and you're like, hey, does all this work and blah blah blah, I was like, yeah, that's great. And I was like, wait, is this shit actually gonna happen? And then it was up, and I was like, holy shit, it is actually happening. And then not until then did I feel like at all taking a victory lap. And I just kind of thought to myself, did something back in high school. One of my guidance counselors told me, it was all this drinking is going to get you nowhere. In your face, Sister Denise. Got me a bobblehead, baby. Got me a bobblehead.
So I said it in the blog, because I don't really know how you felt, and just got a little bit of it. But you guys grew up in this neighborhood. You're from this neighborhood. This is your neighbor. This is it's a big thing for me as a resident for 12 years, right? But as a lifelong resident and people that never left, to be recognized by the organization right up the street, like in this way, for contributions that we willingly made and you guys willingly made, like, how does that, like, is that like, fuck yes, like that's got to be like awesome, right?
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Okay.
Like thinking about like as like we went, me and Beef, we were baseball card collectors, but we had a cousin and one of his buddies that were like super, you know, like the way that you are for bobbleheads, they were for autographs. And so like me and Beef were out hawking autographs in front of the park when we were like 8-9 years old, right? Like so we've been going out to each the old stadium, the new stadium. We had bricks from the old stadium, you know, like all these things that like are like these little collectibles that you have from over the years that are special, and there's special ones. To have one of ourselves is fucking mind-blowing,
right? And that other people will have them too. I think it's right now, to me, it's like euphoric or whatever. It's gonna be overwhelming on September 16th when we see all the people walking through the door to the patio to come and like be part of the party, and then also to actually harvest the bobbleheads. It'll be like a crazy thing. And I was even already thinking about, like, I normally do a class picture, but they're selling some of the seats in 09 and in 110. I'm gonna have to do 3 different pictures to make sure we get the entire group into the thing. It's overwhelming to think of the support, and we've been getting support for a long time in a lot of different ways, and all of you in the comments and everything is great, but having it all at once is just like a lot. It feels like a lot to me, you know?
Yeah.
So
and the night is ours, right? It is for us, but it's also mostly for the community. It's a White Sox Twitter night.
Sox Twitter night. It's White Sox Twitter night.
We're just doing the bobblehead for us, but listen, this is our celebration for everybody. Everyone is involved. Everyone is welcome. Everyone, please come through, because it is going to be a party. And as Jen said, Jen S was like, all you can eat, all you can drink, and it's $5 beer night. Will there be extra paramedics out there? And I was like, she is not wrong, you know, especially after last weekend. Holy shit. I mean, you take the leashes off, the dog is going to play. So it's going to get nuts, man.
So I'm going to get us some drinks right now. We got a couple in the holster here. Let me refill a little bit of this beautiful rosé. But I got a question for the commenters, and feel free to fill this in as we're taking these drinks. But my question to the commenters is: there's going to be a lot of people there that night. You know, a lot of the people that go to the games. You're familiar with the White Sox Twitter crowd in general. Who leaves their bobblehead behind, and does MySoxSummer get it? So throw your entries in. Throw your entries in while we take these drinks. But we got one from Sox Time Jack says, I don't think that Prilosec set yet. More drinks. Cheers.
Good luck.
Cheers.
Our guy Nathan Sheba. He says, completist. My wife has never called me that. Congrats, guys. Well deserved.
Cheers, Nathan.
Nathan, thank you.
Real OG there too. We appreciate that.
Yeah.
And my guy, Danny Reyes, he comes through. He says, cheers, guys. All this stuff is gems. Congrats on the bobblehead. Big OGs. Cheers.
Appreciate you, Danny.
We'll see you out there, buddy.
I'm sorry I read that so poorly. That's a lot of carbonation going down right now.
Is it up here yet?
Not yet. Not yet.
You're good. Okay.
I mean, Ian is right off the bat number one on the list, but we've already got Wally and Missy in there, but we got another drink here.
Wally's going to be in Africa, so he won't. He won't
go White Sox Twitter. Go 108. Congrats.
Oh,
Thank you, Rip.
Thanks, Rip.
You know, guys, I just think
he's gonna be on safari when we were giving your bobble.
Oh man, is he?
Yes, he's gonna be.
I didn't realize at the same time.
Yeah,
I feel like the only thing that can make this night better, with all the great super chats we've been getting, all the shit talking in here. We're gonna talk some socks in a second, but man, we need the porn bots to come back. Where are the porn bots? They've abandoned us.
We're not doing enough to get the porn bots. Apparently,
that's brutal, man. We need them back so bad.
But I think it's time for some Chorizy might be drunk and White Sox talk. Let me see if I can get this pose right.
Out the gate.
There you go.
Use your
That's
mouth.
what I should have looked. That's how I should have looked on the bobblehead.
Your eyes should have been closed on the bobble.
So Beef,
That would have been
Was
fun.
it Friday?
Beef. I wrote a blog about
Yes,
a guy
you did.
named Matt Thaiss a little while ago, and seeing there was a whole bunch of people who wanted DFA Matt Thaiss. I was confused by that. I knew that he once dropped a baseball in a critical moment.
Yes.
That's never happened to
You're
any
aware
other
of it.
player.
Yeah.
Never happened to any other player. So I get that that's problematic. But Matt Thaiss was traded for Drew Baker this week. Wanted to talk about that a little bit. I wanted to ask you guys a few questions on it. And for first off, what did you think about the return, Beef? What did you think about before we get to the return? The fan base is very split on Matt Thaiss. What did you think about that part of it first? And then what did you think about the return?
I mean, I think sometimes we take for granted as especially Chorizy and I, as guys who dig into the numbers a lot and pay kind of close attention to that stuff and are watching every single day, right? The three of us are watching every single day. So we're catching a lot of stuff. And yeah, we see when a ball bounces off Chase Meindroth's head, but we also know that for the most part, he's really produced and he's been good at defensive short. And so you're willing to forget some of that stuff or whatever. But in this instance, like, I think some of the stuff that Matt Thaiss was doing, like walking at almost a 21% clip and having a 382 on base percentage without having much power or whatever, was going by the boards a little bit, by the fan base. And I was thinking about this just in general. Fans kind of like they latch on to things that are important to them. To us, some of digging on the statistical stuff and those values are really important to us. So a guy with a 382 on base percentage is highly valuable. But as other types of fans, maybe they value on a certain event or particular thing that happened. I want to throw this out there to you guys. I want to develop a scale, and I don't know whether or not to call it the Buckner scale or the David Tyree scale, because it can go in either direction. You can either like be really mad at a guy who's a very good player for one egregious play that you are upset about. Like, how could that person possibly fucking do that? And that's like the Bill Buckner right through your legs bullshit, right?
Yeah.
Conversely, David Tyree wasn't worth the shit, but he did catch that ball on the side of his fucking head in the Super Bowl.
On the head. Yeah.
Yes.
And it allowed the Giants to win the Super Bowl. So people love David Tyree for that one play, even though he wasn't worth the shit at all. So I think one of those two scales is a good way to, like, for a fan, you can throw, okay, I'm going to go with the scale instead of looking at the whole body of work. And I think that's what you ran into with our guy, Dangerous Dan. He was like, yeah, I saw him screw up that big play against the Cubs, and the Cubs series is a huge deal. So fuck that guy and get that guy out of here. But so I think sometimes we have to understand fans fan in a certain way. They look at the game in a certain way, and some people aren't digging into all the numbers. So if you're someone just watching in general, and you're not digging into like walk rates and all this stuff, you might say, well, the guy never hits for any power. Yeah, he gets on base sometimes. I like that. But he's screwed up some easy plays that I would expect my catcher to always make. And they maybe like an old school catcher who is no hit but all glove and like tremendous and makes all those plays. I don't know. To me, I thought it was a very nice job of the White Sox to grab him for cash considerations and get that level of production out of him in the short term. I know one thing for me, Chorizy, and MySoxSummer, Matt Thaiss leaving definitely hurts the steak dinner bet. We're not going to replace him with a guy who gets on 38% of the time.
Yeah.
We'll get to how they replaced him in a little bit, but I want to talk about that too. But I want to talk a little bit about the return here. And so we had Drew Baker comes back. Drew Baker is very much a lottery ticket.
Yeah.
Seems like a decent player in the outfield. Looks like the defense is good. Can play all three positions according to most.
Baseball reference.
But similar to I think it's more similar to a Dom Fletcher playing center field, but we'll have to see. But the power, Andy Dufresne, man, it up and vanished like a fart in the wind. So like it was 14 home runs, I was at 23.
2023,
and then it's like last year, no thanks, no home runs,
not a home run at all, zero,
no home runs for me. And so like, do you guys think that they feel like they can fix that? Because what we would usually see in this position in previous administrations at the Sox and with the one now, even that you're going for the fireballer arm, right? The guy that's got no control, but he throws 115 miles per hour. And this team could really use a fireballer. So you're kind of surprised to not see that come back. So MSS, are you surprised that they went with a a bat guy that like if he doesn't like start hitting for power, he's like the weak side of the Dom Fletcher platoon.
Yeah,
like,
that's
like
kind of weird
at all.
It's kind of weird that you don't replace or get a guy that at least has a little bit of a bat and can still play the outfield, because it seems like we have some guys that play the outfield that can hit. So but then again, Benintendi's come on, and he's hitting a little bit better. And then what's his nuts? Joshua Palacios, is hitting too. So maybe you do need another glove guy. I don't know, but was just looking into like some of his stats and stuff. And the year that he hit 14 home runs, he had 54 RBIs. And then the year he hit 0 home runs, he still had 44 RBIs.
Yeah, it's curious, right?
He's still getting the hit. So that's interesting to me, because you would expect, a more of a significant drop off, but he's still slapping the ball. So maybe we're going to get something like we're like Chase is doing right now, where he's not really doing a lot of power, but he's moving the ball. He's like slapping and moving the guys around the bases. So that maybe that's what he can do.
Well, they definitely have a type there. MSS, yeah. I agree. Like they like these guys that can control the plate. Like, and I think they take that over a lot of other things. I think the thing that I'm surprised at Beef is that they go another plate control, not so much power guy, rather than try and go to the pitching side. You would think that there was a numerous options for them. It wasn't like Drew Baker or nothing, right? Like, so are you surprised that they didn't go to the pitching side?
You know what? I'm not actually, and I feel like I'm with you, Treasy. Like, it would be easy enough to just give me one of the guys who throws 1,000,000 miles an hour and never throws strikes, right? But I've been complaining about this for 2 years now. We talked about it in the stretch earlier today with White Sox Dave and Chief. I was like, it's a faulty build of the bullpen that they never grabbed these guys. However, they might feel like that the ones that are available, they don't have a good line on how to make them throw strikes. Mm-hmm. Whereas I think that they think with Ryan Fuller in there as director of hitting, that grabbing these guys that have good, plate discipline, who good swing selection or whatever, that they've got a fighting chance to turn them into something, right? To make them some sort of productive hitter. And so I think their plan is going to be, with every one of the lottery tickets, it's going to be those guys, those types of guys over and over and over again, to see if they can hit a couple. Because you might have a method that you believe works, but you're not going to get them all. You're not going to hit every single person that you put into the program there. And so grabbing a lot of them and trying and see if you can squeeze something out of there is I think is a good approach, in my opinion. What was interesting to me, you mentioned the lack of power. The power went away, Treasy. But in 2023, Drew Baker stole 49 bases. 2024, he stole 42. This year he has 1 stolen base so far. So wait, stop running and stop hitting home runs? What the fuck is going on with this guy?
Maybe he had a backiotomy. I don't know. It sounds bad. It sounds bad. But I think, you bring up a good point, and I wonder if this will be on both sides for them, if they go a little bit different direction in both ways, to say, we think the more important, the more difficult piece is control of the plate and control of the strike zone for a pitcher. And we would rather try to take a guy who's not showing enough power, but can do that, or take a guy who's not throwing hard enough, but can control the strike zone, and say, we'll try and build up your arm strength and make you throw harder. We'll try and get you right to hit the ball out of the park. I think maybe they think that's a little safer of a bet. And I just kind of wonder to myself, is like, are you betting big enough on yourself if you just fill your roster with those types of guys and hope that you can generate some power, or hope that you can generate some arm strength? Because it feels like they're less lottery tickets. They're like more low ceiling, high floor guys. And like, maybe fill your tank with those, and like you could feel like you could always go down to the minors and pull someone up who's going to be reasonable. I think that's a way to think about it, but I'm a little nervous about, like, if this is the way that they start to go, that like we're not going to pop any of those like really great prospects. Of course, they haven't done that anyways. So maybe a different.
However long they would pop none of those lottery tickets.
So maybe a different strategy. We're talking about a prospect that is popping right now and did not come up when Matt Thaiss went away. Is Kyle Teal. So what did you think about Teal not coming up, Beef, when they get rid of Thaiss, they bring in Drew Baker. There's an opening here on the 40-man. You could bring Teal up.
Yep.
Let's go. What happened?
I wasn't as surprised in this situation because I feel like what they want to do is, if possible, save Corey Lee's option and bring him up. Obviously, he was ready. He had been kind of ready, and they had just been holding him in his rehab longer than normal when he had been playing a bunch already and seemed like, well, the guy doesn't really need much time down there. I think they wanted to save that one minor league option. And also, I think the other key here, too, with the Caro and Teal thing is having them both play basically full time is a good deal. When the year started and they were in AAA and they're having to basically switch off behind the plate and 50-50 the shit, it's not giving either of them enough time really to continue to develop those skills, especially on defense. Now, you can hit them and DH them and shit, so they're getting their plate appearances. But the defense is really where I think both of the guys need to brush up, right? These guys have been hitting at AAA level. And Teal's, he started off red hot to start the year. He went in a terrible slump. And then he's come back red hot. And his hitting so far, his prowess is basically a similar batting line to what he had in 2024 last year, where it's a batting average just under 300 and on base just under 400 and a slug in the mid to high fours, double-digit walk rate. I mean, like, everything seems to be going well for Teal at the plate. So I think it's just a maturation. It's just, we're going to have you catch every day. You know, you're going to work on all these things you're going to need to do at the next level, because if we bring you up, we can't work you and Caro at the same time. Caro's got to be doing that work right now in Chicago. And so from that perspective, Thaiss leaving makes it easier, because I don't feel the need to play Corey Lee every day. He don't have a 382 on base percent.
I'm as a fan in the stands, what's your thought on like not getting Teal right now?
Well, I'm looking at like his numbers and I'm like, why the fuck is this guy not up? You know, like it's kind of ridiculous. He's got 7 home runs already, for Christ's sake. Like, that should prove to you that he knows what he's doing, at least enough to be up here. But Loaf's correct, and I'm sure there's some smart, get your options and blah blah blah. You don't want to burn these things, and you don't want to bring somebody up just to bring them up and then send them back down. But I don't know. Like, I do like Caro getting a lot. They must see something in Caro that they're like, we need to develop this at the major league level, just to like get him in there. And like Dave was telling us today, and I don't know how true this is, but a lot of people don't like throwing to Corey Lee. So, I mean, maybe it's just like, hey, this is Corey's last shot, and then we're gonna DFA him, and then we'll bring up Kyle Teal. So let's just get some run out of him, and then let's just make double sure that Kyle Teal is ready. And I'm okay with that. I mean, again, we're not setting the world on fire right now. We're playing better baseball. Right. But we're not winning, and we're not like, oh shit, we're really close to contention here. We could become, close to whatever. This move isn't going to matter now or a month later. Like, so we can take it at either one and we'll be okay.
Yeah, I think the only thing
I still like to see him hit home runs. So, you
guys made a lot of great points. The only thing I will add to that is that I'm glad Corey Lee is back, because all you motherfuckers deserve to watch Corey Lee, because you can compare him to Matt Thaiss and then realize how good you had it a little while ago.
You get what you deserve.
That's funny. See, everyone's full of spite. I love it. See, I got a spite bobblehead, spite Corey Lee. Exactly. This is good. I think Mike Downey.
We're spiteful. We are a spiteful podcast.
Yes, sir. Podcast. Yes, we are.
All right. I want to ask you guys another question about, that there was just that trade, but what's next? Who is the next guy who's going to be traded? And MySoxSummer, go to you first. Who's next off the team?
I think the easiest one, and I think you guys have said it already, and it's Davis Martin. Like, I think he would be the easy one to say that you could probably move him and somebody would take a chance on him. He's looked really good, and his growth from last year to this year, it gives you something that you can probably trade. Now, do I want them to trade him? I don't want them to trade him. Just like we were talking last week, I don't want to lose anybody that's good at what they're doing right now. Let's continue to do that, because it's establishing some type of like good vibe, for the players, that they don't give up. So like, I just envision, okay, the dart's gone. And then we get Bryce Wilson, and people are like, I don't want to put my ass on the line for Bryce Wilson. He's just gonna fucking chuck meatballs up there and serve him up. It's like, I'm not doing that. Fuck this guy and his beard. But yeah, no, I think D-Mart might be the guy that they go because I mean he's got name rec kind of, with people, but he's also like he wasn't around that much last year with the injury and all that, and so maybe hey, let's trade him out. It's a little bit hot.
I feel like he's very tradable. Like there are teams that need a Davis Martin, but I would be surprised if he were next. I think that someone jumping the market to get a Davis Martin I would understand it from the Sox standpoint because they probably are overpaying for a Davis Martin if they're trading in June.
This
right?
early, right? Yeah.
So I would be a little bit surprised, but I do agree. Very tradable asset. Very tradable. Yeah. Beef, who do you got?
It's going to definitely be someone that hurts my chances in the steak dinner bet. Matt Thaiss already went straight into on base percentage. When you look at another guy who's got good on base percentage, can handle both corner outfield spots as a left-handed bat. He just got back off the IL. Mike Tauchman, the Palatine Pounder, Chorizy. Like that series in New York, he whooped their ass. Miguel had a great series, but Tauchman was like a big pain in the ass to them too, and got some key hits and whatever. And I'm watching, I'm like, yeah, this is if I'm San Diego, who's dying right now and needs a left fielder so bad, and their lineup falls off after like 3-4 guys, and they just need to add any on-base percentage. I'm on the phone with the White Sox overpaying for this motherfucker right now so you don't fall out of the race with the Dodgers and Giants and everybody else. And so I could see that one, especially because the cost is not going to be that high. You're not going to hold out for something huge for Tauchman, but very tradable. And the Sox signed him for the purpose. He's 34 years old. So it's not so like
34 under $2 million contract.
Correct. So what MSS was saying about Davis Martin is all true. I could see a lot of teams being interested in Davis Martin or whatever and wanting to get him. The only issue is there's no pressure on him. He's a younger guy. You got a little bit of control. So the negotiations might be longer. When you got a 34-year-old guy whose hamstrings might blow out any second, I think that the market can move really fast on that guy. It's like, oh, you want him? Go ahead. Before he gets hurt again, here you go. You can have him, and hopefully he doesn't get hurt when he's on your team. All right, good luck.
No Gibsy Batskis.
Exactly.
You bought it. You break it, you bought it. Okay,
you got it.
Yeah, Beef, I had him on my list for sure, and the way that I wrote it was that the only reason he's not traded earlier is because teams are going to wait and say, "Can this guy stay healthy?" Like that is all they're looking at.
You're going to blow another tire,
they're like.
We saw that film from Cleveland where you pulled up and you just stopped. They're like, "I'm fucking dead. I can't go anywhere."
I checked the Carfax. There's been a lot of accidents here. There's been a lot of accidents. I want to see how this runs we're going to take this around the block a few more times before we trade for this.
Absolutely.
I like that. I like that these two comments are back to back. Gabriel is like, let's trade Benintendi. And then Alexis is right after. I'm saying, hey, everyone, just want you to know that my birth, it's only 1 month to my birthday. So maybe we can trade Benintendi for her birthday. We'll see.
Benintendi's, to me, untradeable. Yeah, I think right now he's DH only.
Yeah, I mean they played him in left field. I was shocked, and it turned out the only reason they played him in left because Palacios was sick, and that's the only they put him out, and then they put him out in the field. But yeah, I mean he's DH only, and he's not hitting as well as Tauchman. Like he did have 3-hit game the other day and hit a homer, but Tauchman's hitting as well as he is and costs nothing.
Yeah, and CD44 is correct. Tauchman does want to get hurt as he keeps running into the wall trying to catch foul balls.
That was unreal. That was unreal. When he's like first came back and he jumps in the net, I'm like, what are we doing?
He's 34, man. He's YOLOing this shit,
I'm sitting next to Josh Nelson. He full named him. He was yelling, Michael Tauchman. What are you doing?
Michael Tauchman the third.
How dare you?
Stop it.
So like I said, I had Tauchman, but I think they would love to move Rojas or Sosa. I don't think they're going to be able to.
Yeah.
But I thought of one other one, and this will take us right into our next topic. But man, how fucking terrible will this bullpen become if they trade Cam Boozer? Like if someone comes along and is like, hey, we'll give you something for Cam Boozer, and they're like, hey, we're in a rebuild. Here you go. I'll basically tear up the 49.5 tickets. We're just like, we're screwed.
Bullpen's good. I mean, that's gonna happen.
It's like, well, we want Boozer and Wilson. So
I mean, that's going to happen. He is going to get traded to somebody.
he is.
I don't think it'll be.
is.
Yet. I don't think it'll be the next trade. I think it'll be closer to the deadline.
I agree with you.
He's going somewhere.
I agree that Talkman will be next, but like just thinking about the Boozer thing, just like gave me like, oh man, I know I shit my pants a little bit. Actually, it was just like a nervousness that came with it.
A nervous
But speaking of that, Beef, I know.
Let's get to it.
I know you wanted to talk about this, so I'll hand it off to you. But you wanted to talk about your bullpen trust list.
Yeah. So it's been no secret the White Sox bullpen has been booty the entire year. We haven't trusted this bullpen at all. We didn't trust them last year, and then they came around, and when they got rid of everyone, they had a strong September on the strength of a bunch of waiver bait that no one is. Half of these guys ain't even here. Justin Anderson's not here anymore. Gus Varland's not here. They got rid of all these fucking guys that made up the bullpen that actually worked for a little bit the last 6 weeks of the season. So what I did is I put a tweet out there, boys, and I just said, let me just off the top of my head, I'm going to say, who are the ones that I trust the most out of this fucking bullpen? And I'll put up on the screen right now. I decided, like, I'm going to go 1 through 8 White Sox bullpen. Here's my trustworthiness in order. And I said Steven Wilson, Cam Boozer, Mike Vassell, Brandon Eisert, Jordan Leisure, Miguel Castro, who blew out his knee and is gone for the season, but let's ignore that for now. Bryce Wilson, and then Jared Schuster, aka Left Murphy. My question for you guys is, how do you feel about this list? How would you reorder this list on the way you trust the bullpen from watching them?
So Beef, I wanted to disagree with a lot of this.
Yes.
I was like, let me find some things about these guys that I can throw in Beef's face. They're all bad, man. I like once you get past the top 3, Eisert's been okay. Like I like Eisert's been just fine. Like, so Eisert and Vassell are, to me, are like, they're okay dudes. I don't think Vassell has anything that's like insane in terms of what he can do, but he's solid. He's just a solid guy.
Yeah, that's right.
The only thing that I would move around is I might move Bryce Wilson up a little bit.
Yep.
For the simple reason that,
dude,
he's actually not been terrible. He's not been good, but he's not been terrible in high leverage. Like a lot of where he got beat up is in like low leverage situations. So like there is a little bit to him of like, I'll take the ball whenever and I can get something done. That said, still not good. And then I think that the one thing that I was going to disagree with you on was Steven Wilson and Cam Boozer, because I'm not a Steve Wilson guy. Yeah. When they traded for him, I was like, I'm looking at his metrics. I don't want this guy on my team. I don't like what this is. This is a fly ball pitcher, but the weak contact is there. Wilson much better in high leverage so far this year than Cam Boozer has been. And so I do agree, unfortunately, with your 1 and 2. I wanted to disagree badly. I looked for everything, Beef. I tried every way to swing it. But I think you're probably right, 1 and 2. I think 3 and 4 are fine. Jordan Leisure, I might put him all the way at the bottom because like I want him to be good. Like he's the guy that's supposed to be really good in here. And good God, like every time I was driving,
a lot to be desired.
And he came in against, I think it was against the Tigers, and I was driving and I was like, I gotta pull over so I don't just smash into another car right now. Him throwing 80 foul balls and like the guy could ratchet it up to 100 and everybody's foul tipping him to death. And it's like, what are you doing out there? So like, I might put him to the bottom. Jared Schuster can be up higher because you know what? I know what Jared Schuster is. I'm never surprised by what comes up when he comes in.
Right.
It's fine.
It doesn't scare you. MSS, what do you think about this list? Where anyone you rearrange, anything you disagree with?
Guys, before you get into it, baby, we're back.
Yeah, I just saw that. I did see that.
We're back. The porn bots are back.
They heard us.
I'm like,
beautiful. I love it.
What a night. What a night.
I mean, you can't get much better than that. Loaf, the only guy that I think you're being disrespectful to on this list is Mike Vassell.
Okay.
I mean, he has the most wins in the pitching staff.
Yeah.
There's
No,
many
and he has a
inside.
save too. I know. Yeah. He's been good.
I have to give him a little bit of a nod, maybe over a Boozer, even though I love Boozer. I love Boozer a lot. Like, and Steven Wilson, I'm fine with him because I don't recall any time being mad at him. So I'm just going to be like, okay, I'm just going to take that guy. But yeah, no, I think Mike Vassell is really outperforming, outkicking his coverage, as we would say. I think he's doing pretty good for what he is. That would be the only one that I maybe put him up a little bit closer over Boozer. I mean, you can make a case that he's probably the best guy out of the pen, but yeah, I like him. I was gonna say that maybe put Leisure over Isert, but Isert can start games, so that's a little tool in his toolbox. So and he hasn't really shit the bed on those. So let's keep that going because we don't know what's gonna happen. But yeah, the only thing is Vassell, I think. I mean, a little undervalued. I
think I can agree with you there, MSS. Like if I was redoing it today, I think I would make that change. I think I would put Vassell 2 and Boozer down to 3. The reason why I got Boozer 2 is because like Vassell has been nice, but he doesn't, and he actually did do it this last outing when he threw 3 innings against the Mets. He had 5 Ks, but he doesn't throw enough of the strikeout ball for me. So like when you get in a spot where there's runners on base and shit, like he needs to get the ground ball basically because he's the ground ball guy. Whereas Boozer can get the strikeouts. Like I like his ability to get a strikeout. That's probably the only difference. But if I was remaking it today, I think I might make that change. I probably should explain Jordan Leisure at number 5 because he gives me the bubble guts. I've been putting it out there on Twitter. He's replaced Aaron Bummer, giving me the goddamn bubble guts. However, if Jordan Leisure comes in the 7th inning and the Sox are up 2, I expect him to have 3 Ks, super fucking clean inning, all right? If he comes in the 9th inning and the Sox are up 2, we're losing the game. That's where the difference. So like he has some uses. Like he has some use, but Treese, he comes in the 9th inning and he throws 100, but that fastball is straight as an arrow, and everyone makes contact with it all the time. And then his butt cheeks clench up and he starts walking people too. You know, it kills me.
It's Chris Ray all over again.
It's Chris Ray.
Chris Ray had 3 pitches: high fastball, low fastball, fastball right down the middle. All of them. He had like 40 saves one year or some bullshit. And everyone's like, what a great closer. And it's like, nope, league catches up to him. It's homer after homer. So that's Jordan Leisure right now. He needs to learn how to put a little fucking movement on the ball. Jordan, let me just throw this out. Scuff the fucking ball.
I love it.
Pomade the shit out of your hair. Do something. That ball's got to move, baby. That ball's got to move. MySoxSummer.
Yes.
How about you pay some bills?
Hey. Yeah. Here we go. Tired of driving something that feels like it's stuck in winter? Shift into spring with a brand new Mazda from Mazda of Orland Park. Sleek design, Sky Active performance, tech that gets you and your playlist, and MPG that will make your wallet wanna dance. From the sporty Mazda 3 to the adventure-ready CX-5, we've got the perfect ride for your spring road trip, daily commute, or spontaneous ice cream run, because you can now. Special spring gigs are rolling in now. Trade in, trade up, drive out, renting. Located just off 159th Street in Orland Park. Stop by today or shop anytime online at MazdaofOrlandPark.com. Mazda of Orland Park, home of the Zoom Zoom Nation. Drive something that actually gets you. Also, rest in peace that one too. There'll be something new for the next podcast.
Wonderful.
I love both of those. I'm excited to see what's next. I'm excited to see what's next.
Where do I take it?
What's next? What's next in the show? I could tell you that. It's last call. All right, boys. I'm gonna go first. Okay. I want to get this. I want to get this out while I'm still sober enough.
He's horny as hell. Let's get it going.
But I put together a little thing for you guys. We're gonna talk through a couple of these.
Drink that.
I want to know. Have you had your fill of these people? This is because I was on the Twitters the other day, and this popped up, this tweet. and it was I'm like the one like on this tweet, by the way. So go like this tweet. It's from Rebel Rouser Pod. It says, did anyone else think they would end up hating Will Ferrell? So this is the PayPal commercial where he just sings, and there's horrible. Like 8,000 of them, and they're all not good.
It's brutal.
Have you had your fill of Will Ferrell? Beef, you go first.
I absolutely have. And it's been a while now. It's been like 6 months or a year. I've been tweeting stuff like, I don't see the need for Will Ferrell anymore out here. And I got some pushback about 9 months ago because apparently he did a Netflix with talking about a trans friend that he's helped out or whatever. And it's like, oh, you're anti-trans. I'm saying, no. I'm talking about his fucking comedy. All right. I'm talking about his trans. I'm talking about his comedy. Yeah, well, I mean, Chorizy and I's cousin is trans. I mean, we've known about trans before any of you's known about that shit. Anyway, if this comedy is wearing me to fuck out, I can't do any more Will Ferrell. Anytime I see him on the screen, I don't want to see him anymore. And I loved him and all the. I loved Elf, even though he hated that movie. I loved Old School. I loved all those fucking movies where he's acting goofy as hell. Like I loved all that shit back. I loved The Campaign's a great movie, a hilarious movie. No more. I'm done out completely. I don't need to see Will Ferrell's ass ever again doing any more comedy.
MSS, where are you at? Where are you at with Will Ferrell?
I would tend to agree with Loaf until I watched that Saturday Night Live 50th High on Mushrooms, and he was Big Red
in the prison one.
In the prison one with Eddie.
Eddie, yes.
And I'll say this: he's funny and he's saying stuff, and then he tries to do that whole bit where he's talking like, I was born in the North Pole and blah blah blah, and he just gives up midway through and he goes, "It's Elf. I'm talking about Elf." and then the kid is like, "Yeah, I knew you were a fucking pussy or whatever," and he's like, "Big Red's gonna fuck you," or whatever he was doing. It was great.
They did swear as much of this as MSS is doing.
Well, it was TV. Yeah, I know.
It was TV. But it was really good. I thought that was good. So that's why I can't say I've had my fill yet, because there still might be something left in the tank. For him to go and do something funny.
MSS, I just think I'm in between both of you. I just think he shouldn't do commercials anymore.
Yes.
All right, man. You got enough money. Leave commercials to good commercial actors. All right.
And Shaq, of course.
It was Shaq. Shaq
does every commercial.
Yeah. Shaq answers the phone. I'll do it. That's that.
And it's PayPal, for Christ's sake. Just be happy you still have the eBay account and shut the fuck up. Okay. Just take it easy.
Exactly.
All right. Next up. This is it's not the Pope, but it's the Pope mania, just in general. People dressing like the Pope, 80,000 Pope shirts. MSS, have you had your fill of Pope mania?
Oh my God.
We're like a weekend, by the way.
A guy that wanted to potentially get a White Sox themed Pope hat to wear. I am so glad I did not buy it, because yes, I am tired of seeing people dressed like the Pope coming to the game, hanging out and whatever. Girls dressed like the Pope, okay. I'm okay with that. I think that's unique and is different.
MSS like Slutty Pope. Slutty Pope is still on the table for Halloween, according to MSS.
Slutty
No, he's a smart man. He's smart about this.
Okay. I am okay with that. Fucking random dudes, and then people walking around like they are the Pope and doing, oh yeah, pose for a picture. Fuck yourself. I don't care for that. I'm over it. I've had my fill.
Beef, have you had your fill of Pope mania?
Absolutely. And here's the problem with burning this whole thing out. See, you burn it out real hard now, and when the Pope does something awesome, let's say in like 8 months or whatever, I'm still going to be mad that you burned it, and I won't have as much fun as we should have with some of the shit when something cool happens later.
Right.
Pope maybe does a Chicago-related thing or whatever, So, I think we screwed ourselves by going too hard too early. It's like the first night on the bachelor party trip. A lot of guys go way too hard, and
first Vegas night
themselves up. Yeah, exactly. The first Vegas night, and then you're nursing a hangover for days, right? We're nursing a Pope hangover probably for at least a year before we can cleanse the palate and get back into it. I think it just got burned out so fast, and I'm so sad about it because I feel like there could be some more gold out there.
I'm with you. We haven't even seen his poping yet, and we're already burned out. It's a sad state of affairs. Let's get to the next one. Jake from State Farm.
Oh my God.
He's on 24/7, man. He's on more than Flo at this point on my television. Are you burned out on Jake from State Farm MSS?
I'm burned out, yes, because this is not the original Jake. If it was the original Jake from State Farm, I'm good. This is
Once again,
no, shut the fuck up. They replaced
MSS and Jay Cooter are upset about this right now.
They replaced the good guy, or the original guy that was the actual guy, with a fucking actor. Like, that's lame, man. Like, let the kid that was actually working in State Farm continue with that and let him do that. So yeah, no, I'm sick of this guy. He's fine. He seems okay, but he makes appearances and shit at like red carpet events and stuff. That's fucking stupid. I don't like that. No, I'm Phil.
Beef, where are you at on him?
You know what? I have not had my fill of Jake from State Farm. I think the reason why it is because I don't see the commercials that much. I don't think I watch a lot of live TV, so I'm catching a lot of the commercials. So maybe I'm getting a little less of it. Plus, they put him in weird and goofy enough situations where he feels, to me, I'm watching him, he feels a little uncomfortable in them. So it's not all glory for Jake from State Farm. It's not as fun as it looks like it could be. So I'm okay. He's got a little more staying power with the BeefLoaf right now. I have not had my fill.
So you're saying as long as he's being made uncomfortable by Andy Reid, you're in. Is what I heard.
As long as he's saying, let's try it with them nuggies, I'm okay with it.
MySoxSummer is trying to make this part of the great replacement theory or whatever.
I don't like. Shut the fuck up.
All right. Next up, Timothy Chalamet. He's been very, very in everything recently, and he's at these Knicks games. I saw someone post that he is becoming the Jack Nicholson of the Knicks. Beef, have you had your fill of Timothy Chalamet?
No, I kind of like this, and I kind of feel like we don't have enough of those types of sports fans who are celebrities anymore. Now, like for them, it's just like a little showpiece of doing stuff. We don't have the Jack Nicholsons, the Spike Lees, the guys that are really fucking there, and enjoying it. Now, I don't know. This could just be a playoff thing, and you'll never see the fucking guy again at the stadium, and then I lose the respect for him, and then he can go fuck himself. But I would like for this to develop back like it used to be. Roger and Ebert used to be fucking courtside at the fucking Bulls games, right? All the time. I like seeing that. I like to see the world connect a little bit in that capacity where someone of a different discipline just likes to go watch the other one perform their craft, their skill, and really enjoy it. And so not yet, but it's got the potential to get there just depending on how it turns.
MySoxSummer. How about you?
I like that Loaf just said Roger and Ebert. Siskel and Ebert.
I'm sorry.
I like
and it was
that.
Siskel, who was the big Bulls fan too. I don't know.
Yeah. And big 108 fan Roper, but I don't think Roper ever sat courtside. I don't.
Roper's now at RogerEbert.com though, baby.
He is. I saw that today.
Big ups to Roper, man.
Fucking awesome.
He was courtside at our Cork show, so that kind of
was.
Yeah, you never know what celebrities are going to show up, and he actually came on the mic, and then like it was good.
Correct.
It was a good time. But listen, I've tried to watch NBA playoff games and act like I actually am interested and care, and I cannot do it. So I don't care what this guy does. I'm going to go with Loaf. Sure, he's good for the game to have somebody around, but I really don't care. The NBA to me is just not for me. I just can't. I can't. I tried. I have tried.
The game the other night was terrific.
we watched Sunday night. We watched that game. That was awesome. I will say I'm a big Chalamet fan. I like what's going on here. I was hoping that you guys would be out on him and we can get into it. But
fight.
you guys
I'm more into his sister.
Oh, hello. She looks just like him.
Yeah, she does.
All right, next up. Now this is one that I heard Dougie Fresh mention on the Bumpcast, and I was like, I'm with you, bro. I'm done with this is Bonnie Blue.
Yeah.
MSS, I'll start with you.
Well,
not because you're the porn guy.
No.
Just in order. That's it.
She got kicked out of some Chelsea game or something, or Nottingham, or I don't know, football game, because she was like jerking guys off in the stand or something. And it's crossed into you're not doing it for the love of the game anymore. You're just doing it for the publicity. I'm out. I've had my fill of Bonnie Blue. Like, listen, if your heart desire, like original gangbang girls were doing it for the love of the game. They were just like, you know what? I want to go take 1,000 men in one day. And that's going to be what I'm doing. But I'm doing it because I like it and not because I'm going to have become internet famous or possibly get pregnant by one of these dudes. I just can't. Yeah, no, I'm out. I'm out on her. She's not doing it for the right reasons. No. Out.
Beef, where you at?
Well, I mean, she stole a record from my girl Lisa Sparks, MSS.
That's
you know
true,
that,
too.
right? She took the record
and
from
Lisa
her.
Sparks.
Lisa Sparks' record, and Lisa
Just
Sparks,
a horny swinger.
She's yeah, that's right. She's just a thick girl. She was married already when she was doing all the pornographies. That's even crazier shit than this.
The pornography.
Yeah, I've had my fill because I just like I shouldn't see you this much. This is your career. Like unless if I go search you out. And we're going to have an intimate moment before I get in the shower. That's a different story then. I'm seeing you all everywhere on Twitter. I don't need to see you this fucking much, right? I got Twitter for other shit. I don't really need to see your face on it a lot and know about your 1,000 guys you banged, all right? It's like she's bleeding into the other worlds. I don't need it. I don't want her all over here,
Stay out of my sports.
Stay away from my talk porn only.
Stick to porn, lady.
And I don't even think this is the same person in both pictures, to be honest. I mean, I don't. The girl on the
know
right
what?
does not.
Hey,
look, like
look.
the girl on the left.
I just pulled something off the internet. It's hard to search this and not come up with a lot of stuff that I don't want up on my screen for a long time.
Yeah, I think those two were going against each other. No,
that might be that Lily girl. I don't know. I don't give a shit.
Or maybe that's just what you look like after 1,000 guys. Who knows? Oh man!
Next up,
does this even need to be asked?
Beef, have you heard Philip Yee?
Yes, and I even liked him when he was getting kind of crazy. I was like,
you called him
there's some interesting stuff here. And then he just went like all the stuff with his ex-wife where he had to have her in public nude all the time. I was like, the fuck is wrong with this man? And that's not even getting to all his real crazy racist shit and him wearing like you can't see him, whatever, costumes and bullshit. Yeah, I've had my fill of him, but he needs help, man. They need to get this guy some help. Like this dude is so fucked up. And I don't want to watch any of it. This train wreck, I've seen enough of it. I don't need no more.
It took me like 5 minutes to find a picture where I was like, yeah, that's definitely Kanye. And I'm still not sure. I'm still not even sure. MySoxSummer, where you at on Kanye?
So when I went to art school, right? Like people talk about you want to make a statement piece, you want to put something out there, and there's an easy way to do it, and there's really cheap and low hanging fruit ways to do it. Putting a swastika on something to get a rise out of people, or dressing like a KKK member to get a rise out of people, is not owning something. It's just shock for shock. It's not smart. It's not in depth or anything like that. That part of the Kanye, I'm totally done with. Like, I think that's stupid. The Jew talk. Okay, let's take it easy here, buddy. I don't need to hear any more about that. Now, coming out and talking about how you blew your cousin for all those years. That's some good shit, right? Like he's owning that. You can own that, and you're making a shot.
Get on that.
That is shocking,
I'm
back.
That
is like taking the power back in. Like that to me is more arty, and that's what he wants to do. But the music is pretty awful, but the idea of it was pretty good. Like you're like, hey, I'm gonna take control of this, and I'm gonna let people know that I did this, and it don't even bother me. Like that is cool to me. But the other stuff, the anti-Semitism and the that shit, no, I'm out on that. I think that's goofy, and yeah, I don't know. I can't listen. I don't listen to Kanye as much anymore. Like even the old stuff, because I like the old stuff. The old stuff was good. Yeah. Like Workout Plan, Kanye was great. That kind of shit. He had like 3 banger albums, and he called it. He's like, I'm gonna do this, this, and this, and like his story was awesome. And then like really good artists, he fell off a deep end and just tried to keep going off into the ether, and he did it. He should have just married Kim Kardashian and just snuggled up with that butt, and then just not worried about the rest of his life. Like I don't know. Like, listen, the guy is into pornography. He's a sex fiend or whatever. You marry a woman who has her own sex tape, probably the biggest sex tape ever. Like, just hands up to say, okay, I'm done. I'm just going to enjoy this. I'm just going to enjoy life. You don't need to keep changing and doing all that shit. I mean, the man's sick, and I'm sorry. But yeah, I think I'm out.
Yeah, I mean, it's just sad to see him in Margot and Todd's sweatsuit here, but that's it. That's it for Have You Had Your Fill. I hope you guys enjoyed yourselves. That was my last call. Beef, I'll kick it to you, my friend.
All right, my last call is actually gonna be a game as well. It's a failed segment from about 4 years ago. I tried to do it a couple times on this podcast a while back, probably before we were even doing videos at all. And the segment sucked both of the times we did it. I blame you guys for that. You should have been better. I was good, but you guys sucked. So here's a chance for you guys to redeem yourselves.
All right.
We are going to go ahead. What?
I was gonna say, we're playing Did They Fuck? What are we doing?
No. That's a great segment. We'll bring that back. But
Did they fuck White Sox Twitter?
Did they fuck? When we're doing Did They Fuck, it's going to be in the agenda. Did they fuck? Not last call. It ain't going to be disguised as last call.
We'll be prepared.
You'll be prepared for it. And I'll let you guys know when it's going to be the White Sox Twitter version. Probably after the bobbleheads, just to make sure we saw nothing. But anyway, no, we're going to go back in time and we are going to play the Twitter game. And the Twitter game is I'm going to give you some groups, brands, people, whatever, in categories, and you're going to guess which one has the most Twitter followers. Any commentary in between is also welcome. And so, first off, we had a big milestone. So I'm going to go with beers first, because it's in one of our T-shirts: baseball, beer, and bullshit. And here are the 4 contestants for beers. You guys try to decide which one has the most Twitter follows. Number 1, Corona USA. Number 2, Pepsi Blue Ribbon. Number 3, Yingling. And number 4, Natural Light. MySoxSummer, you guess first.
So immediately I'm like, oh man, it's Pabst Blue Ribbon, because they're like they're probably trying to be the cool brand, and they're for a long time they're trying to get kids on board.
What kind of beer do you like? Heineken? Fuck that shit! Pabst Blue Ribbon!
That's what you want, right?
I think that's right. Yingling is enticing, but like I'm so unfamiliar with any of these brands, is like how they tweet. So I'm gonna just stick with PBR.
All right.
No, I know PBR ain't got that many.
All right. Treasy says PBR definitely out. Treasy, who do you choose? You want me to read them again or no?
No, I got it. I do think that Natty Light and Yingling fucked is that right? Is that what we're playing? I would say
how dare you?
I'm gonna give you my order and see how close.
Oh, you're gonna go all 4. Okay,
God.
I like this.
I'm gonna go Natty Light.
Okay.
Corona. Yingling, Pabst.
Okay.
I'm putting Pabst all the way at the bottom. I'm gonna go opposite.
But that was 1, 2, 3, 4. You did that. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Here we go. In 4th place with the lowest amount of followers out of the group is Natural Light, 71.4K followers.
Fuck you.
All right.
Second lowest amount of followers is Corona USA, 73.6. Now, this is not the Corona, Mexico Corona is bigger, but the Corona USA is smaller. So we're down to the last 2. The silver medal in 2nd place with 90,000.3 followers is Pabst Blue Ribbon, which means the champion is Yingling, 97.2K. I was shocked when I almost looked it up.
I almost had it backwards. I almost had it backwards. I almost won the booby prize.
I was surprised.
I like that you went all in like that. And you're like, I know this so well, I'm going to name what they are. And then you got fucked. I loved it.
You got to be confident. You got to be confident.
Yeah.
Dig in, bro. All right. Next up, this one might be tough for MSS. I don't know if you've ever seen The Wire. Have you seen The Wire, MSS?
Yeah, I watched the whole series.
Okay, just making sure. These are actors from The Wire.
Shut up, bitch!
Take it easy. First one is Jamie Hector, who played Marlo Stansfield. Second up is Chris Bauer, who played Frank Sabatka. Up third is Frankie Faison, R.I.P. in peace, who played Irvin Burrell. And finally, number 4 is Sonia Son, who played Kima Greggs. Chorizy-E, I'll let you go first on who you think out of this group has the most followers. Let me know if you need me to repeat any of it.
So I think it would be it was Frank Sabatka, you said, right? So it's
and that's the guy's name is Chris Power. So the lead of season 2. Yeah, that's right.
Yes.
I think it would be funny. Right? I would think it would be funny if I think he's Polish in that, but like but I think it would be funny if he were number 1. So I'm gonna say Sabatka number 1. Yeah,
got it. All right. MSS.
I love that. I love that Ziggy account that's out there.
The Ziggy account's terrific. Posts a lot of wire shit. Yeah, it's fun.
Initially, that's the same guy I was gonna go with too, because he was in another HBO show, like where he was running a whorehouse in Manhattan. Yeah, like he's like the head guy. I think he's probably the number 1 guy, but whoever the last one you said is, the woman, is it a woman?
Yeah, that's Sonia San, Kima Greggs. Yeah,
I'm taking her.
All right, in order from reverse, so from worst to first. Number 4 is Frankie Faison, who played Irvin Burrell, 9.9K. A little surprised by that because Frankie was around for a long time, but just didn't have as much a Twitter presence.
9.9K.
Yeah, they're small. That's
so less than
more followers. I have more followers than them.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. And, the 108 account has more followers than the number 3 one as well. Sonia San, who played Kima Greggs, 14.9K followers. The silver medal is Chris Bauer, who played Frank Sabatka, 25.9K. And number 1 is Jamie Hector, who played Marlo Stansfield, 44,400 followers on Twitter. So,
man. Damn.
All right. Next up, and this should be a fun one because these are much more well-known people. I went with late night talk show hosts. Late night talk show hosts. So here's the lineup of 4, and you guys decide who has the most Twitter followers. Number 1 is Jimmy Kimmel. Number 2 is Jay Leno. Number 3, Conan O'Brien. And number 4, Jimmy Fallon. MySoxSummer. Who has the most Twitter followers out of that foursome?
I'm going to go with Fallon.
Okay.
Just because I think he appeals to that, like that demo and that, like the people that are on Twitter. Like I'm hurt. Like there's like a couple that I would go with, like that I think are close, but I'm going to take Fallon as the overall guy.
I think MSS is right because of bot followers. But I will go Conan because he deserves the most followers.
That's who I was thinking too, but
all right, I like it.
He might have had it before the blue sky migration.
One never knows. All right, in reverse order, number 4 is Jay Leno, 564,000.7 followers. So a little over
the
half a million.
The hill got him. The hill got him.
All his mafia connects. No one wants to follow back. They're doing it too
fucking whores at an extended stay. It does not get followers anymore.
Fucking Hampton Inn. Goddamn Hampton Inn.
I almost used the picture of him where he's like this, whatever, and his face is all fucked up. That's the lead in for this. But I decided not to do that. I don't want to give it away. But number 3 on a talk show host is Jimmy Kimmel. 10.9 million. So this is when you get into some huge numbers with these.
God, that's
these
insane.
That's a big number, right? So
that's insane.
The silver medalist is Conan O'Brien, 26.7 million followers. Yeah. And the most, Jimmy Fallon has 48.7 million followers. That's insane shit.
That's bullshit.
Surprise, motherfucker.
49 million people really want to follow Jimmy Fallon? Why?
Oh, no, they're bots. That's fine.
Those are purchased.
If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. All right, come on.
All right, now this one's going to hit a little closer to our hearts here. This foursome is called 108 sponsors. 108 sponsors. Yeah. Let's see if you guys know about the 108 sponsors. Which one has the most Twitter followers? And number 1, Cork and Carry. Number 2, Punky's Pizza. Number 3, Lawrence's Shrimp. And number 4, Mazda of Orland Park. Chorizy, you are first. Who do you think has the most followers of our sponsors?
People like to drink, man. I'm gonna go Cork. Cork is number 1.
Okay. All right. MySoxSummer, what do you think?
Cork has 2 locations, so that's a good thing. They are interactive. They will retweet stuff and do stuff, but I want to say because they've been with us the longest, we've probably garnered a lot of followers from Maz of Orland Park. I'm going to go with them. And then, I'm going to go with them.
Okay. Jackie Trion says 5 Chicago White Sox. Not sponsored, but we do work together. Not a sponsor. So, yeah. All right.
And it would be number one on this list.
It would be number one. Yeah. It would be Jay Leno, too, as well. So, let's keep it score at home. All right. Number 4, this is in reverse order. 108 sponsors. Lawrence's Shrimp has 734 followers on Twitter.
Big on Facebook.
Follow them, you fucks.
Oh, I was thinking about that. We need to do a thing to push their followers above 1,000.
How many followers do they have?
734. Yeah.
What?
700.
Everyone in the comments, follow them right now. Motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Come on. All right.
Hey, man. I looked it up right before the show.
734,000 though, right?
That's Punky's Pizza was third place, 1,525. In second place, silver medal, Mazda of Orland Park.
Damn.
1,934. With Cork and Carey being the leader, 2,464 followers out of 108 sponsors.
Man, I won that one.
You won that one. Last group. This is the last group we're going to do out of this. And this I've termed people that have been on the 108 YouTube channel. So 4 people that have been on our YouTube channel. And I'll have you guys guess who had the most followers. Number 1, Danny Parkins. Number 2 is Sandra Patches O'Houlihan. Number 3, White Sox Dave. And number 4, Chuck Garfine. MySoxSummer, who of that group that have all been on the 108 YouTube channel has the most Twitter followers?
I want to say Danny Parkins has the most because I want to say that, but I'm also know how thirsty people are. But I bet you Sandra's got like the most followers on her Instagram out of all those people. So like that I can understand. I'm going to go with Parkins. I'm just going with Danny Parkins.
Okay. All right. Chorizy-E.
No slight to Dave, but I think Danny got it.
I think I agree with MySoxSummer on this one that it's Parkins, but we can't have the same one.
No.
So I'm gonna go Dave. I'm gonna say that that Dave, the TV hasn't pushed him past yet, and Dave's still got the edge. That's what I'm gonna go with.
The White Sox Dave is a little advantage there. Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good. All right, we're gonna start 4th place. Chuck Garfine, 64,400 followers. In 3rd place, Danny Parkins, 75,600 followers. The silver medal, 2nd place, White Sox Dave, 92,500 followers.
Good for Dave up there that much.
And number 1, Sandra Patches O'Houlihan, 98,300 followers. She's getting close to 100,000. Close to 100K for Sandra. Good for her.
Nothing that brings the internet together like being a bunch of horny little freaks.
She's also really funny. It helps.
She is hilarious.
I think that is good, so that helps out. So that was the Twitter game. It was much better this time than it ever has been. I appreciate it by you guys. Nice job.
Well, thank you for validating us, Beef. That we're fucking good enough.
You came through this time.
Game. MySoxSummer.
All right.
Call.
So I don't know. I preemptively thanked the bums last week for the tailgate that I said I would possibly get overserved at. And guess what, folks? It fucking happened. I have not run out of liquor so quickly in a Sox game and then thought, hey, this is a wonderful idea. I should go up to the bar and go buy more beer and buy more. I got a lot of Sun Cruisers and was sipping on a lot of different stuff. I was hammered. But now, Sunday, I'm going through my phone and I'm seeing some pictures and I was like, there seems to be something. And I have a very big drunk tell. When I get really drunk and I am drunk, like blackout drunk, I have a tell. Do you guys know what it is?
Is it your open mouth smile?
Potentially. Loaf?
I know. I mean, like I can just tell when you're extremely hammered, like your actions and everything. But I don't know a specific tell. So I don't got it.
Here's a specific tell. I stick my tongue out in every fucking picture that I. Okay. Apparently, I thought it would be a great idea for Wally Money and I to take a picture of Jerry's license plate and send it to Aloha Mr. Hand, who had just happened to be in New York playing some golf at the Hall of Fame event.
It's a
Now,
great
you
picture.
could say this was just
Great
a
picture.
one-off.
Could have just
I
been
sh-
one time that happened. Yeah,
I assure you it is not. Not even from the same game when our friend Jen S posted this picture of me walking by and sticking my tongue out at her while she was taking a picture. Okay? Now, you're probably thinking to yourself, oh, mate, MySoxSummer, this is a Chicago thing. This is just recent. This has just happened. Nope. Went to the Facebook and picked out this picture. This is from a 4th of July. Not too long ago. Well, I mean, it was pre-2010 when I lived out west. This is me blackout drunk on a rooftop in Newport Beach on the 4th of July.
Garth Brooks right there.
Let's stay on this for a second because the girl in the middle is stealing your bit. She's got her tongue out too.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
does.
It was some hot shit. You look at me, you can't tell how sunburned I am, but I have a puka shell necklace on, a Julius Erving Sixers jersey because it's red, white, and blue because I'm patriotic.
Oh, yeah.
And a Lucky Boys Confusion hat. I will assure you,
Worst part of the outfit.
I will assure you that every girl in that photo would have nothing to do with me. They just posed for a picture with me. It was very nice. Also, while I was out west, I went continental down in Mexico. Oh, you get a little drunk on some Dos Equis. Yep. MySoxSummer will take a picture of you and stick his tongue out. That was a good one. Now,
is that when you were in Godsmack? Is that what it's
Sully kicked him out for sticking his tongue out too much, Treasy.
That was actually
have all this tongue action here. We're not kiss, asshole.
You remember Big Black from the Robin Black show, right? On MTV. Big Black, that's a Big Black hat that I'm wearing because I think I bought it on clearance. Now you're saying MySoxSummer, maybe you were just festive and just always happy when you were out west. Here's me at a bar, just smiling. I had actually had a birthday party this night and gotten dumped by the girl I was dating at the time. And you're like, well, MySoxSummer, you look pretty hammered, but I wasn't that hammered because here's a picture from later in the night where a buddy of mine is pulling his shirt up. I'm holding my other buddy's leg and I am sticking out my tongue, drinking in a gigantic glass of which is undoubtedly Bud Light.
Can we go back to the last picture? Because I want to post this everywhere because this lady's wearing a Trump shirt. I want
see that. Like, what is that?
I want MSS big Trump guy
is?
all over the internet.
It's a Trump vodka. That was Trump vodka shirt.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she worked at a spirits store. That's my old roommate, Kim. She was awesome. But yeah, that in California. But yeah, so that's not that drunk. Hammered. You might be thinking to yourself, MySoxSummer, again, you're just a festive guy. You probably don't pull this out at like family parties or anything. And here's me at my sister's wedding. Definitely.
It's fine.
Having it, right?
Enjoying yourself, yeah.
You're doing okay. MySoxSummer's having a good time. Up now his two brother-in-law's ear at his wedding at the reception. Yep. When you give me an open tab,
incredible.
Okay, this is what I do. I start licking the newest member of the family. I came home one time. My buddy and his and a friend of and his wife got married, and I was like, "Hey, maybe you're gonna keep it together." Got picked up by a friend, and they shoved a bottle of Jägermeister in my face, and we were doing shots of Jaeger. Yep, yeah, it's definitely in that picture too.
In that picture, I'm like, yes, he does have his fucking tongue out.
100%.
You absolutely have your fucking tongue out in that picture.
Totally blacked out in that picture. And I don't even remember meeting you guys that night, and we had great conversations. But yes. When I come home and would drink Jägermeister in the car, I just end up in the garage smoking cigarettes, sticking my tongue out in the back because I am just having fun drinking. You can see a person in the right corner looking at me like, what the fuck is this guy doing? Yeah, that's what I do. Now, the first time I remember getting so blackout hammered and just not remembering like a major portion of the evening before I met you guys was my going away party when I was in California. And here's me at the start of it with my friend Allie. And we're
the tongue's already coming out.
Saying
The tongue's
goodbye.
already coming out.
It's
Just
not
me-
out yet, but it's holstered, Chorizy. It's
me
about ready,
saying
you know?
goodbye, you know?
Yep.
And then as the evening progressed, oh, there's me with my friend Mike, just sticking my tongue out, you know, like being excited. And then here we go. Yep, me with the guys. It's getting more. I did more shots of Jaeger bombs this night than I feel like a human has ever done. And so this is what I was doing. If you can see in the front of my shirt, that is not sweat. That is just drinks that have poured down the front of my shirt.
The guys on the edge. Go back to that one for just a second.
Okay.
The guys on the edges look so happy. They're having a great time. The guy close to your tongue looks
Not happy.
like he's in fucking danger.
Steven's a little more reserved than Dan and Neil were. So yeah, no, it definitely Dan and Neil were happy not to be right next to my tongue. I probably reek of Rockstar and Jägermeister, so no big deal. As the evening progressed, there's me with my phone. With some other good friends, wearing my South Minneapolis shirt because I was cool. And then to wrap it all up, probably the last picture of the evening. Yep, there's me and Steven again, trying to lick Steven again.
That poor guy was in the lick zone all night.
I'm so glad you were moving out of town.
So let me
So
tell
glad.
you,
He couldn't wait till that night was over, and he never saw you again in your big tongue.
He's
If
somewhere telling a story right now going, man, there used to be this guy take pictures with me. I always thought he was going to lick me, man. It was fucked up.
Actually, Steve and his girlfriend actually have been with us, sat with us in the 108. They had
Really?
come through. Yeah, they ended up getting married. And
Please
they've
show a
actually
picture
sat
where-
in the 108.
Where your tongue's out with him at the
No,
game.
we'll do that.
I thought we were building to that right now.
No, but no. So if you ever end the weekend and are looking through pictures of what we've done at a tailgate or in the audience, and you see my tongue out, rest assured, I am definitely on a different planet in that picture because that's the only time I do it. So, and that was my last call.
Oh my God. That was beautiful. That was fucking beautiful.
Well done.
I told Loaf, I'm like, I have it. I just have to pull together a bunch of pictures for this last call. And it just worked. Thank you, Facebook. Thank you, Facebook, for keeping all those pictures for me.
Saving a lot of memories for you.
Yes.
Oh man. After all that, I'm exhausted, but it is time for thank yous and GFYs. MySoxSummer, who you thinking of GFY?
So the first round of thank yous for today, like definitely everybody at Barstool Chicago. They're always so nice to us, and they don't give us that look like who the fuck are you? They always say hi to us, and like, even people that we know, we're like hi guys, hello. Except Brandon. Brandon didn't say hi to us. He was busy.
That's true.
But Jerry came in today and he was dressed like a Scottish golfer.
That was
and
weird.
wearing some Air Force Ones. I didn't know what the fuck was going on, but Jerry wanted to be noticed because he did say, "Hey, Dave," and then he just kept walking.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Was that Jersey Jerry?" And it was. This is when Dave was like freaking me out with all the diabetes talk and how I'm killing.
He was
myself
yelling
with
at you,
those shots.
basically.
It was off, but like. It's cool, and every time we go there, Dave's like, yeah. After we're done, we'll go take you over. You can meet Dan, and it never happens. Like we never get to meet Dan.
No.
Not even a minute, and you don't even want to say, "Hey, Dave, are we going to go meet Dan now?" Because I just want to run into him like at one of these times. So we just got to keep going back, and then we'll get to meet him.
Not like we almost ran into PFT and murdered him on the stairs.
Yeah,
Like, that's not like that.
That's true. I was looking because Shady Ray sells like those big huge glasses that are the Barstool ones, and I wanted to be like, I want to try those on because they keep putting them in my feed as extra large, and I saw them on PFT, and while they were big, they didn't look like overwhelmingly big, so I'm like, they're not going to fit my dome. Like I just know they're not, so I just wanted to try them on to see, but I couldn't find them. But I also thank these guys in the blog already, and we thanked them earlier tonight. But Mike Downey, his team, and Brooks Boyer for always thinking of us to like put us in weird bits and weird situations.
Absolutely.
And keeping our name on there. It is not lost on me, and I know it's not lost on you guys. Like Mike fights for us in a lot of these things, and it's because they're like, why are we doing this for these assholes that sit in right field? And he's like, just trust me. And it's worked out really well. And we owe them our thank you, but also thank you to you guys that then support and retweet and like buy and all this other stuff for us to like show them the power of the community that we didn't invent, but we helped build, you know? So it's like, we appreciate you guys too. You guys are all right up in there, our fans and everything. So, but yeah, big thanks to Mike and Brooks for just taking shots on 3 drunk guys that sit in right field that, you know, just like this team. And like
Mike also introduced me and Beef to the bar in KC with the coldest beer possible. In fact, it came out frozen, and it was on a very hot day. It was well appreciated. It was very hot going over that bridge too. So I blame Mike for that too. But that's a different story for a different time. Beef, who are you thinking are GFYing?
I mean, I agree with everything that MSS said, but really, I wanted to give a big thank you to all of you out in these Twitter streets that have supported us for all these years. I mean, like, we don't get here and get a bobblehead without all of you. Yes, it requires buy-in from the team, and we have to have a certain thing, whatever. But it requires buy-in from you guys to verify our legitimacy, to say, okay, these guys are doing something that we love, and we appreciate all you that are up in the comments, that are dropping tips or whatever, that said, hey, I like that blog or whatever, all over the years. All your follow backs on Twitter, all that shit. It's so much appreciated. And, you know, the Bobblehead is just a culmination of all that stuff. So really appreciate all of you that have been on this journey with us for almost a fucking decade, man. Just appreciate it so much.
I echo those. Both the years on. I mean, thinking Downing for sure, but the fans, everybody who's buying those tickets, I'm 100% on board thanking them too. You know what we got to thank, Beef? I think fucking MySoxSummer. This shit doesn't happen.
That's correct.
He's not in the streets doing that. So like me and Beef would have never come up with this. We would have probably never even thought of it. So MSS, thank you, brother. Have a good night.
You guys are welcome.
In the city of Chicago, back in the day, there was a ball player. They called him Jizz. They said playing for the White Sox, he had a certain flair. He hit 69 home runs, man, that ain't fair. He swung that bat like a wild tornado storm. Every time he stepped up, he smashed it. It was the norm. The ladies in the stands, they couldn't help but stare. The legend of Alejandro Jizz spreading everywhere. Ooh, Alejandro Jizz got the magic touch on the field. He was a king,